Justice with Judge Mablean will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law. Where's your witness?
In the evidence.
That's hearsay.
It's notarized.
I still say it's hearsay.
She's fair.
You gotta help these young men learn how to do this the right way.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's firm.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, I don't
Okay.
need to say anything else.
She's honest.
I'm not your child and I'm not your friend. That's the order of the court. Goodbye.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean.
All rise. All parties raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Mablean presiding.
Thank you. You may be seated. In the matter of Haley Woods versus Derek Stone, Ms. Woods, you're suing him for $1,100 for damaging your door and the cost of a locksmith, right? Mr. Stone, you as the landlord said it was her negligence. I'm not responsible for that, right?
That's correct.
And I'll start with you, Ms. Woods.
So there are two separate incidents. First, occurred on September 20th around 6:30 a.m. I was woken up at that time because I had been cat sitting for my friend's cat, and the cat had broken a mirror, glass shattered. A shard of mirror glass was too large to fit into my garbage can, so therefore I walked outside my apartment to put it down the garbage chute. I realized upon entering that I forgot my keys, and that accidentally I picked up my car keys, not my apartment keys. I know that my landlord and property manager carry extra spare sets of keys, and I didn't have my phone on me. I couldn't call a neighbor. I therefore walked to my property manager's unit and knocked on the door. He came out and he brought his huge ring of keys, of every other tenant's keys and spare keys except for mine. He checked 3 times. I counted. He informed me that the keys are currently in possession of the property of the handyman. Handyman came in to do a repair 6 months ago. So I've had these keys have been given to a stranger. They've had clear access to my apartment for 6 months because they have failed to retrieve or replace my keys within a very large extended period of time. Upon hearing that, of course, I was shocked and felt that was very uncomfortable that a strange man had had access to my apartment for so long. He informed me that I would have to pay $350 for a locksmith to enter and—
That's what he told you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I had to pay that amount for a locksmith to come. I did not have an option because, again, I had an abandoned cat without any food or water inside the apartment.
Okay.
Around 2 weeks later, on October 2nd, I was at work and I received a text from my landlord and a call basically saying a building pipe leak had occurred, and this pipe leak had flooded my apartment and they needed to enter. This is in the bit.
And that they had entered?
They had to enter.
Oh, okay.
Basically, they were calling me not as a courtesy, but because they didn't have keys of their own. They asked me to come down. This is the middle of a very busy work day. I had meetings all day. They informed me that they would have to barge in. Okay, if that's necessary because my apartment was flooded, sure, so be it. They barge in, and I am then hit with a bill for $750 due to the door costs. So basically, I was expected and had to pay $750 due to an issue that wasn't my own cause, my own doing. They did put me in a hotel for the meantime, but again, that wasn't my fault for what caused the leak.
They put you into the hotel?
They put me in a hotel for 2 days.
They didn't charge you for that, right?
No, they didn't,
Okay.
thankfully.
All right. Let me hear your side of the story.
And it's very, very clear that due to her negligence, she accidentally locked herself out of the unit at 6:30 in the morning. My manager starts work at 8 o'clock in the morning, works till 6 in the evening. He's generally only interrupted in case of a major emergency, a flood, a fire, or something of that nature, or a need to evacuate the building. This was nothing of the kind. It was a cat.
If she locked herself out and there's a cat inside, your manager is on the premises,
Correct.
lives on the premises, and you're saying that he doesn't have emergency services?
Well, the lease, if I could so reference the lease and ask you to take a look at this, Your Honor. If owner is required to assist any renter in gaining entry to the premises, renter may be assessed a charge for the actual costs, including out-of-pocket expenses incurred by the owner. My position is it was 6:30 in the morning. It's at a time before my apartment manager, Ryan, starts work, and he should only be interrupted, out of courtesy to him if there's a major flood or a fire or a major emergency. Item 10, if there's an emergency when the renter is not at home, such as water running out from under the front door from a leak, and the tenant cannot unlock the unit or provide a key into the unit, then the landlord will have to break into the apartment to take care of the problem because he has no key. The tenant will be responsible for the repairs to the door and lock. So let's be clear here. We were under no obligation as landlord and apartment manager to even call the tenant. We had to write to knock the door down given the flood emergency, which was flooding her unit.
So your position is busted pipe causing a leak, she has nothing to do with that.
She had nothing to do with the pipe.
During the time that she's away from her home, you're telling me that because she didn't have the key and she wasn't there and you broke the door down, that she has to pay for it.
I am saying that it is her responsibility.
You sound like a zip dang fool.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
I didn't even realize that you made me put my hands on my hips. You can't see it. But once I put my hands on my hip, ooh, that's it.
And later,
With it being a busy day, busy hot summer day, and having a festival going on outside, it was packed in there. It was impossible to load everything up in these pedestrian elevators.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Haley Woods, who is suing Derek Stone for property damage.
But your lease has some flaws in it because it says that you can enter the premises on emergency and after you tell her about it. And the only way you can enter that on emergency if she's not present is that you have a key.
Right.
And so therefore that means that you have an extra key. The law requires you to have a key as well so that you may enter those premises in the event. Don't stop shaking your head. Put your hand down. I didn't even realize that you made me put my hands on my hips. You can't see it. But once I put my hands on my hip, ooh, that's it. So, you sounded foolish. First of all, it's your property that's being damaged by the pipe leak. If you didn't get in there to stop the damage in her apartment unit, it would filter on down to others, which could have caused significant damage to other units, which you would have been responsible for. And you really take the position that it's her fault that she wasn't home and couldn't get to you to give you a key, and you broke the door down, and she has to pay for it.
Well, may I answer respectfully, Your Honor?
I asked you a question. You need to answer
After the
it.
first incident,
I'm
where
not talking about the first incident. I'm
Right.
I'm not on the first incident. We're on the second incident.
But this directly affects the second
No, it
incident.
doesn't.
We had asked her to provide a key to my manager, Ryan,
Your
after the
manager
first
had
incident.
the key that he gave it to a handyman and didn't get it back. Answer that.
That is correct.
Oh. So now whose fault is that?
Well,
Whose fault is that you, as the owner of the premises, no one has a key to her apartment when she's not there? When your manager had an extra key, loaned it to the handyman, did not get it back. Whose fault is that?
Well, that's not up for me to judge that.
Yes, it is.
You're the judge, Your Honor.
Oh, now I'm the judge. Oh, you so cute. Now it's not up to you to judge, but it's up to you because is this your manager?
This is my manager, and
Come up here.
also, by the way, we did spend quite a bit of money, far in excess of $750 to
Oh,
repair
really?
both units.
Mr. Manager.
We put her up in a hotel and
I got
paid
that. You did all you're supposed to do.
the room
Mr.
service
Manager,
and everything.
I have one question of you.
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
have an extra key to all of the apartments on all those key rings that you had?
Yes, we did have a key to every unit, but the
Did you loan the key to her unit, to the plaintiff's unit, to the handyman, to a handyman?
Correct. He was
And
out.
did you forget to get it back from him?
He forgot to return it back to me.
And you forgot to get it from him. If he didn't return it and he forgot to return it, then you should remember to go get it. What you do? Just say, "Oh, you forgot to return it. I don't have that key, and you without it forever." Was that your position?
No, he was supposed to return in a couple of weeks to fix another AC unit. So he was going to return the keys to me
In
at
a
the moment.
couple of weeks?
Correct.
What's wrong with the United States Mail? Or one of those services that you can have somebody deliver packages. You will go wait for a couple of weeks and you never know what may happen, as is what happened. You had an emergency. That's poor management. That's poor management on your part.
But this was prior to the second incident. We had told Ms. Woods that she did need to provide a copy of her key.
No. Ms. Wood, you had a key. You had an extra key that you loaned to a handyman who had it out for 2 weeks, which is also not good because he has a key to her unit and she doesn't know anything about it and she doesn't know him, and you let him have it for 2 weeks. He could have gone back in there without your knowledge.
He is actually employed by Mr. Stone.
I don't care if he is
For
employed.
15 years, and he's a great contractor.
Okay. Your fault that you didn't go get your key. Your fault that you had to break down that door to get in there the second time around. She is not paying you for breaking down that door. Your fault that you locked your key up in the house and you didn't have your extra key and you had to get an extra key made. But an extra key cost how much? $750?
No, a locksmith came.
The locksmith, how much was that?
$350.
Huh?
$350.
That's on you, because you have to remember when you leave your house, you need to take, it's your responsibility when you go out of your door to take your key with you and to be responsible for that. That's your responsibility. I understand you went out quickly, tried to get rid of the glass, but still you locked your key in the house, and that's your mistake, and that was your fault. On that regard, I denied the plaintiff's request for reimbursement of the $350. However, it is your fault that you had to break down the door that second time around when the damage was caused by the water and the flood. And therefore, you need to reimburse her for the $750 that you charged her for that second key. Judgment for the plaintiff.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $750.
Well, I'm glad I moved out.
I have no further comment. Thank you for the court for listening to both sides. I appreciate it.
All right, your day in court is now over.
Coming up,
With it being a busy day, busy hot summer day, and having a festival going on outside, it was packed in there. It was impossible to load everything up in these pedestrian elevators.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
In the matter of Mitch Byard,
Byard.
you're suing him for $1,100, and I believe it's for the cost you had to pay.
Yes, a failure to provide a service elevator on my move-out day.
Okay, tell me about it.
For the day of my move-out, there's the service elevator for taking down tables and mattresses, the big heavy stuff. Well, that has been kind of an issue. It wasn't available to me.
Why was it unavailable?
It was broken.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was your move-out date?
It was the 31st.
Were you aware the elevator was broken?
I was aware, and we were waiting on a specific part.
How many elevators you have?
There are 3 elevators in the building. The service elevator happens to be the one closest to his apartment.
And the service elevator, you can shut it down. And it goes down from the floor that the person gets on.
Yep.
But on the passenger elevators, you cannot shut them down.
That is correct.
And how big is the building? How many units?
We had 20 stories. He lived on the 4th floor of the building.
So now what happened?
So I wrote an email to him asking at the beginning of the month, what's going on? Can you please provide an update? And he did say it's not looking so good.
Okay.
2 weeks before my move-out date, we ran into each other in the building, and he said it should be good to go. Well, the day came, and I took work off. I'm a TA, so I have many busy students that need my help, but I was able to get 2 buddies to come help me. I found a moving truck that was able to come on that day.
So had you not found an apartment?
No, I was actually able to move in my stuff on the 31st. My next lease began on the 1st.
So then what happened?
So, well, with it being a busy day, busy hot summer day, and having a festival going on outside, it was packed in there. It was impossible to load everything up in these pedestrian elevators.
So what did you do?
I wrote to him asking, when is this going to be ready?
And you hired a professional crew to move you out, and that cost you,
$1,000. The truck was $100
and
on
the
the
movers
31st.
were $1,000.
Correct.
And you want him to pay you back for that.
Yes.
Coming up,
Why he waited until the very day that he had to be out,
He just told you. He said he couldn't move into the other place.
that's not my problem though.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Mitch Byard, who is suing Larry Fielder for negligence.
What do you have to say?
Your Honor, I completely agree. You know, the service elevator being out during his move is an inconvenience. Not only were there 2 other elevators that were available for him to use, why he waited until the very day that he had to be out,
He just told you. He said he couldn't move into the other place.
that's not my problem though. If you wait until the very last minute to do something and something goes wrong, that's your responsibility. He could have hired the movers earlier. There's other things he could have done. His decision instead was to wait until the day that he's supposed to be out to begin his move. And because it didn't go exactly the way he wanted it done, then he was unable to do it. And to me, it seems more like he was inconvenienced or slightly entitled in this particular matter. I gave him plenty of time to move out. He moved out the day he wanted to move out. He could have started on Friday, gotten a few things in and out. I understand he has work.
I'm with him.
Well, I mean,
You knew 2 weeks. Service elevator's out. 2 weeks. Service elevator's out. You made an attempt to get the service elevator repaired. You gave notice the service elevator is out. There are 2 other elevators. So now you have 2 choices. Walk a little further, use the elevators, and first come, first served. If you get on the elevator and load it all up, then when it gets down to the next floor, people got to wait. Get to the next floor, they got to wait. But when you're loading the elevator, you have someone there holding it so that it won't go down. You load it, then you go on down. Wait or take the stairs or whatever. It's called life. You make choices.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
What are you teaching your students about planning? What do you say to them when they say, I didn't get my homework in because my pencil sharpener broke and I couldn't get my pencil sharpened?
I would say find a way to sharpen that pencil.
Or you should have found a way to sharpen the pencil. Or you should have bought more than one pencil. Or you should have been ready, right?
Correct.
That's what I say to you. Judgment for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
You always got to find alternatives, and you always have to have a plan A and a plan B and even a plan C if necessary. You're an educator. Teach. Don't move, all right?
All right.
Thank you.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
I just want to say I'm glad that you're still in school because I just taught you a lesson.
Thank you.
Be prepared.
Okay, gentlemen, your day in court is over. You can exit right behind you.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.